Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is paolllamichellle, and on today's video, I want to talk about a subject that I've been sitting on for quite a while. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I feel like I've just been sitting on it because I'm processing this and I'm diving deeper into this. And I just want to preface this by saying, if I'm looking down, it's because I literally have taken notes upon notes, like processing my feelings of all of the things that I am experiencing right now as I am about to talk about the subject. So, obviously, you guys know that in the spiritual community, there's a lot of conversation about love, self love, and also love with a romantic partner. And the reason why I'm ready to talk on this subject is because I have officially, right, manifested what I believe is my partner. And in this process, if you guys have been following me a lot on Instagram, on TikTok, and even on here, like I've talked extensively about the self-love journey. And I even went as far back as taking a trip to California for a whole year, reassessing myself. I basically had my eat, pray, love moment, if you get the reference of the movie, in California instead of Bali, I think is where she went in the original film. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But long story short, I spent like many years practicing the self love and rediscovering parts of myself and also healing myself after experiencing a lot of chaotic relationships and a lot of relationships that were ultimately never leading anywhere. So now that I am in this healthy relationship and it has finally come, right? It's like these lessons, these things have built up to this moment. And now that it's here, there's all these triggers coming up to the surface, things that I thought I had worked on. Now, what's making me post this video is spirit, if I'm being honest. And this is a very uncomfortable video, so bear with me and thank you so much for being here. So, for me, one of the things that has been coming up as I am with my partner and we're building together links back to wounds of unworthiness. So, having a healthy relationship is not roses and butterflies. Like, there's tough conversations. Like, I'll be honest, there's been a lot of unworthiness wounds coming up for me. And I was being super hard on myself. Like, oh my God, I thought I had worked through this. Like, why are these coming up? Why am I being so triggered right now? But then I realized, I'm like, oh, I asked to go deeper on my journey. I asked for union with someone and I asked for vulnerability. I asked for someone to be my rock. Therefore, I need to open up. This is part, I'm not going to be perfect. Because there used to be, and if you're anything like me, maybe this like will make sense to you, but there used to be this part of me where I used to think, I need to be perfect. I need to have this figured. I need to have that and this and that and that. And then I'll find love. And then I'll be worthy of it. And don't get me wrong, there is a certain point of readiness that you do have to, in a way, kind of provide. But I don't think perfection is it because there is no such thing as perfection. Everything's easy when you're single. Everything's easy, right? In a way, in an essence, in a core, it is. It's much easier because you don't have a constant mirror being up against you, projecting to you where your wounds still lie and where you still don't love yourself and where you still need to love yourself and transcend and grow. And that's why I always say the difficult relationship is not the toxic one, but the healthy one after the toxic one. Even in the healthiest of relationships, there are still challenges. There are uncharted waters that you guys have to both navigate. There's an inner standing. Because remember, if you think about it this way, and this is something that I keep reminding myself, is you're having two individual people come together and it takes time for all of those contracts, for all of those energies to merge. Which what does that look like in the physical realm? It looks like conversations, communication, commitment, understanding. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but oftentimes we think like love is easy, right? We felt victim to this like Disney princess love relationship situation that is just not realistic and not real. And when we're living here in the 3D in this matrix, right, we're spiritual beings coming, having this human experience, and we're choosing this person, literally, to have this experience with, it entails a lot of communion, coming together in union, communion, a lot of understanding, a lot of compassion. And the reality is, with love, is vulnerability and it's authenticity. And the whole point of finding your soul mate, so someone that's in soul partnership with you, is to be able to be authentically yourself, to be able to be you, which means all aspects of you, the dark, the light, the fun, the angry. I know in the spiritual community, we get so a little like, oh my God, taboo, like anger, shoot, blinders, blinders, like, let me just be happy, dippity, dippity, all the time. That is not reality. You should always feel safe, and you should feel safe enough to be yourself and be in authenticity and bring up any problems and have any sort of conversation that is making you feel some type of way. Your inner child should feel safe. So if you probably struggle with these things as well when you get so used to being alone and doing things on your own. Like I said before, sometimes the toughest relationship is not the unhealthy one, because I think we've been living in those way too much and we know what that is. It's the healthy after the toxic one, because now you're coming back and out of that survival mode. You're coming down to your parasympathetic system instead of running on your sympathetic system and feeling so chaotic all the time like this. Right? You're coming down to a place of safety, to someone that can hold the space, to someone that looks at you and says, look, I see your shortcomings, I see your attitude, I see this, but I still love you. I still love you. And before you can experience that, you also have to identify first and have that self love. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, at the end of the day, you guys, we're human. We want to have a human experience. We want to be in partnership with people. We want to be in love with people, and share what we have inside, especially if you have so much to give. You have to give to yourself, yeah. But it's a beautiful blessing to be able to give to your partner and have it be reciprocated and vice versa, right? So that entails a lot. And the sole act of love is pure. So when love comes into your body, and I'm literally getting chills as I'm saying this, it starts to shine light in all the areas of yourself where there isn't love. Because remember, as without, so within, as within, so without. So when you're falling in love, right? Or I don't like that term falling, because nobody falls, right? We're growing in love, we're aligning in love. It starts to bring up all these wounds. And a lot of the times, those wounds are around unworthiness and not feeling worthy and not feeling seen and being fearful because of the old, outdated programmings. This is why self love is so important, because when you do take time for yourself, and I do believe genuinely that every human at the core of their being should spend at least some point in their life alone. And what do I mean with this is alone in solitude with spirit, with yourself, with your psyche, your subconscious mind. This doesn't mean you need to like be a monk and like live in Tibet and go in a mountain and like, if that's what you want to do, amazing. But I know that it looks different for everyone, but I feel like it's a very necessary part of life. I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of relationships, and I've seen this with myself, I've also seen this with clients, a lot of reasons why relationships don't last is because people get in relationships out of attachment, not empowerment. And a lot of the times this happens because there isn't a solid foundation of love, of self-love first. And a lot of people didn't get a lot of things out of their system. What do I mean by that is spending time alone, maybe traveling, doing things that sometimes when you're not with the right person can become difficult, because then you're essentially being distracted, and you're being distracted by needing to take care of someone excessively or having to abandon yourself in order to please others or take care of others. And again, this is not just in relationships, this could be a lot of things at once, but I see it a lot in relationships. And this happened to me, right? I felt like I was in all the wrong relationships. So every time I was trying to work on my career, do this, do that, it felt like it was a distraction. It was a distraction, and it was kind of not helping me align with the highest love that I wanted, and also the things that were important to me. And if you've experienced this, you're going to resonate with this, right? So we all go through that. And we all, like I said before, we all have to go through a period of wrong relationships to appreciate and be able to identify the right one. And what I mean by right one, no one is perfect, right? We're perfectly imperfect. It's a paradox. That's how life on earth is. Everything's a paradox. Yet you're finding someone that you're ultimately in alignment with. And what does this mean? Like, what does it look like when you're in a healthy relationship? It looks like you're both growing. Whatever I lack, someone else's help is teaching me how to level up. And whatever they lack, I am teaching them how to level up, but in a loving way. This is the reason why God, Hashem, Spirit, the Most High, whoever you resonate with, created relationships. And if you read the book Conversations with God, there is a segment on it. There's a session, a section there where he basically talks and has a conversation with God about relationships. Like, what is the sole purpose of relationship? Why were relationships created? And it is they serve your spiritual journey and your evolution and your connection to God, to yourself, and then to others. Because it is in partnership where you breed the most compassion. It's in relationship where you learn the most, because sometimes sitting in yourself, there's a little bit of bias, right? This is what we call the shadow or the ego, in which case. And the shadow and the ego do a really good job of telling you you're fine. Don't look at this. Suppress, 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 like neglect, 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 spiritually bypass, right? Which we've all done at some point, because it's not easy sometimes taking a look at ourselves. Come on. It's a little difficult. But that's where the work is. So whatever you don't tend to, the universe, God, whatever you resonate with will bring to your vicinity so that you can take a look at it and what we call integrate. And integrate means let go, learn, release, and then move on to the next lesson, because there's always a lesson. So partnership is like that. When you're in relationship with the right person, you're learning from each other, you're helping each other, and you're building a community. It's collaborative. It's a collaboration. I don't believe in the word compromise, because I feel like sometimes compromise means you're sacrificing something, usually something that's really important to you in order to meet someone else's standard. So I like to call it collaborative effort. And this is what I tell my boyfriend all the time. It's like we are collaborating. So, because I never want him to feel like he needs to sacrifice something and breed resentment. And I never want to feel like I need to either, because then it breeds resentment. So we are in a co-creative partnership, the same way I'm in a co-creative partnership with the universe, the Most High God. And it's in partnership too that all these wounds come up, all these triggers, all these things. Now, like I said earlier in the video, is it's really important for you if you're seeking a healthy relationship, because remember, this world reigns in free will. So if you're into chaos and that's what you want, you will continuously be in chaos. But if you're looking for healthy partnership, relationship, at the core root, what partnership actually means is you're partnering up with someone. There's a part of you that's unifying with that person and vice versa. And you're helping each other grow. And if you take it further, right, if you're looking for marriage, that goes in a deeper commitment, because now we go deeper into the blueprint of the cosmic universe. We're talking merging of souls. We're talking a lot of things, right? But it's important for you to understand your traumas, your wounds, your triggers, your shortcomings, what you in essence struggle with, and what you are gifted with. Because we are not meant to do this life alone. If we were meant to do this life alone, you wouldn't be sitting here watching this video. Let's be honest. We all need each other in some way, shape, or form. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't have independence and are a sovereign being and we have free will and free choice? Of course. Of course. That's what love is. It's free will. It's choice. You choose to be with this person. You don't need to be with this person, but you're choosing this partner. So choose wisely. So it takes time. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but relationships take time. It's effort, it's compassion, it's consideration, it's consistency, and it's love, right? Love is consideration. Love is to be seen, which requires you to step into someone else's shoes and have that compassion. And that's the ultimate goal of love, even romantic love. It's not really about you. It is, but it's also about the other person and being of service. Now, when I say that, I don't mean drag yourself down and it should never come at your own detriment. I am saying that love in its essence is about giving and giving so unconditionally to the other person, to the other party, knowing and trusting that inevitably it will be gifted back to you because it's a reciprocity. If you're with the right person, of course. If you're with the right person, you hear me? So don't ever settle for less. Don't think that love is not for you. It is, and it's okay to want it. It's okay to wait for it, and it's okay to be disciplined in it. And also be flexible and take these lessons as a humbling experience to connect back to yourself. If you're asking to go deeper, this is what deep is. Deep isn't always just on your own. It's sometimes the prayer, sometimes it's answered through a person. It's the person coming in to heal the wounds of abandonment. Maybe to show you that love isn't so far off, or maybe to show you that someone can stay. So it's beautiful. Healing is your responsibility, of course. And allowing others to help you is also a beautiful gift that you can never give yourself. So that is it for today's video. I hope this video made sense because honestly, there's so much right now. And I just wanted to share that. Like, why do we have to plan everything? What? Like, no, we're just out here, besties, just talking. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and also if you guys want more topics on this subject for me to bring up. Also, make sure to follow me on TikTok, over on Instagram as well, and subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.